Yeah, so warm welcome to week 2 of topic 1, online participation and digital literacies. And this is more a workshop maybe today than a webinar, but very much for you to get help with your individual reflection space if you need, or if you want to me to focus on anything particular, you can ask me and I can adapt my presentation. And hopefully we have a conversation about reflection spaces, I'm gonna quickly talk about why we need to reflect, or why is it good to reflect, just very quickly, and then getting very hands-on how to do it in WordPress in particular, and why I think, and many of us out there, um, to have open technologies for reflection, WordPress in particular. Yeah, and there was yesterday. No, our university does not have the AI companion tools of Zoom activated due to GDPR reasons, I think. Soon. You can see a recording afterwards, and yeah, and if you showing captions, yeah. There's both. I mean, you can have caption transcripts and all the stuff these days, generative AI based. But today we have to do without. But please do interrupt me if there's anything unclear. If you have any questions, I'm very keen to hear how's it going for you right now. I have a little poll, but feel free to write in the chat as well. I have two questions for you. I hope they pop up now. I never done this before, I think, in Zoom. Is it? Yeah. Thank you, Kath. So two questions. Mhm. Are you okay? So normally distributed around the 7, how well it's going, or maybe okay, it's with the shouldn't make too much out of it, but thank you for letting me know, and how much you enjoy it. The second question, if you find it, yeah, pretty. That's thank you. If you want to elaborate on this in the chat or unmute yourself, feel free. If there's anything unclear and you're still new to the PBL thing, trust me, it will get more comfortable and clearer and very natural. And I will probably ask you the same two questions at the end of the course again, and hopefully we get an even more positive picture. But thank you so much for the feedback. And if there's anything, let your co-facilitator, your facilitator know, me or anyone else in the course organizing team. Great. So then I don't know if you can put this poll away, or if it's in your face all the time now, or if I have to do something. No, once you ask, then yes, good. I say end poll, view results. I don't know if it shows up for you. I'm still learning here as well. But okay, I have a few slides which I wanted to start with. And again, interrupt me if there's anything in the chat, or unmute yourself, and just quickly talk about, just as a start, why reflect in the first place. Why do we why do we focus so much on reflecting? Do you do it with your students? maybe a rhetorical questions, but if you have a ad hoc answer to this, please be my guest. I would say many of us want our students to be reflective practitioners once they leave the universities, right? If you have professional education, like many of us, and medical education, but also civil engineers or business administrators, we we want but even anyone leaving the university after at least the bachelor degrees, guess we want them to have some metacognitive skills for reflecting, right, on what we do, how we do stuff. And this is, of course, also in for centers of teaching and learning. We would like to help you and our colleagues out there to be reflective practitioners about our own teaching practice, right? And reflecting is then a natural part of this. And for many of us, this is probably very almost self-evident and quite obvious that this is generally recognized together with learning. There's not much learning, maybe you could argue, without reflecting. Or there will be much more learning, most likely, once you reflect. And what reflecting is, and there's models how to reflect about your practice that is I mean, there's different ways, different models how you can go on, but it's usually that you would like to relate yourself to your material, to your practice, to a process, is much research topic, obviously. And here you have just one example of a research article. I guess I don't think I have to, I hope, or I don't know if I have to sell it in much more the importance about it. But let me know. So what we do here also, and more particularly in the course, is that we want you to keep a learning diary almost with a reflection space, and where you then have the opportunity to, for yourself, combine the theory with the practice, with your experiences in the PBL group, about your learning journey throughout the course. But of course, this is just an example to get you started if you're not doing this regularly outside the ONL course. And this is once we do it for ourselves, it's a good starting point if we want to get our students to do the same. So, this is just quickly for the why. The remainder of this of today is very much how to do it in practice with WordPress. And here, just for another warm up and maybe just to get some feedback from you, how far have you come? Have you created your individual reflection space already? Yes. So thank you for, obviously this is working. So the majority has not, and this is probably a good. Then I will take the reminder now of this of this workshop here to get you going. And feel free, if you have the two screens, and to follow those steps while I'm showing how you can do it in WordPress on Open Network Learning. If someone, I don't see you all here now who is part of it, those of us who are from Karlstad University, you can go to sula.co.se. Maybe your institution also has a WordPress multi-site or another reflection space, portfolio space, but you can definitely start and doing this on open network learning, and I show you how now shortly. Yeah, I'm not sure if you connected it. That's all good. We go through this, and yes, only two of you. So there's definitely then uh, a purpose with the session, and hopefully at the end of by in the next after 45 minutes or so, you're up to speed and have your reflection space up and running. But if not, then you definitely know how.
Excuse me, Jörg.
Yes, sure.
I have a site, but this is working on another web platform,
Yeah,
like Webly.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
was wondering, so I already created it, but I was wondering how to connect this to
Yes.
the.
We'll, yes, we'll, excellent. If we can just park this question for a while, we'll get back to it, Felicia, but that's definitely possible and
Okay,
by design.
okay,
This is just
thanks.
WordPress. And now I'm maybe go over a little bit to WordPress and why we focus so much on WordPress. And I'm not sure how much you know about WordPress, but WordPress is used for 35% of all web pages out there on the entire internet. More than a third are done with WordPress. So, so there's thousands of developers contributing to WordPress. There's millions of users, administrators in charge of a WordPress page. If your students know WordPress, then it's very likely that small companies in particular, but also large organizations, um, are using WordPress, and then they can immediately have a skill or a competence to get them going. And WordPress is just one example of a content management system, and there's plenty of them out there. So if you understand the general structure, taxonomies, and differences or like the workings of a content management system like WordPress, then you could easily learn Drupal or Joomla or any other out there. And WordPress is open technology. It's open source code, so you can just download it and run it on a server. And this is where open network learning is hosted, for instance, on Karlstad University's web server. So all data is not in the cloud somewhere on a company which uses your data for their business model. In this case, opennetworklearning.se is hosted by Karlstad University. So all the data is located and controlled in Sweden by a governmental agency, by Karlstad University. And you could, and another advantage here is, and you can, and I'll show you this later, you can export your content and take it with you and host it somewhere else if you swap universities or at the end of the O&L course if you start here with WordPress. Plenty of opportunities. WordPress is also so popular because there's a very successful company behind it hosting WordPress.com. And they've been in the news lately last year because well, the CEO of Ethic, the company behind WordPress.com, made some unpopular choices. But there's WordPress.com. You can go and create your blog if you want to on WordPress.com. Then it's hosted on their server, or maybe your university or institution has the open source community-based version of it and host it itself. Does that make sense? The hosting, self-hosting, and in the cloud? Yeah. If not, please interrupt me. There are no stupid questions. Gives me an opportunity to explain it better. So one concept before is like if you go to WordPress.com, it is a WordPress multi-site. Um, OpenNetworkLearning.se is a WordPress multi-site. Uh, and then this is makes hosting a lot of web pages, WordPress pages very easily. And and this is just for you as an institutional concept, interesting maybe. But and yeah, just if you wanted to host something like this, ask your IT department to set up a WordPress multi-site, not individual WordPress sites. I'll explain this in more detail later. Now, I would like to hear from you in the chat, maybe, or unlocking. If you see those word pairs here, which of them, or could you not explain to someone in the room? Plugins, themes, category tag, RSS feed. Okay, all of them, front and back. Yes. Okay. All right. Then my setup makes still sense. Then I will go through all of them. Yes. Okay. And yeah. And if anyone wants to explain it differently or has other things when I go through them, please chip in. If you could explain it also, great. Then again, there's still a purpose for the remainder of the session, and I'll just stop sharing this here and show then start explaining these terms. You've all seen the front end of a WordPress site. And some of you maybe even have seen the back end. I'll share my screen. Which window? I have so many windows open. So we go with this one here. So OpenNetworkLearning.se. This is the front end, what we call it. This is what everyone visitors to a home page would see. Okay, and this is very much different from the back end. The back end, I need to log in here first, and oh, I'm logged in already. And I'll show you the back end now from OpenNetworkLearning.se, and it's also called dashboard. So this is where you make all the different kind of settings for your website. And you control in the back end, in the dashboard or admin panel, what is visible on the front end to your visitors. And there you can make all kinds of changes, which menus you would like to have at which place, which pages should be shown, or which categories of your posts, all different kinds of stuff. So this is really the backbone of it, that there's a difference between the front end on the one side, what the visitors see, and on the back end, what you as administrator control. All right. And all the settings here, everything, content, appearance, post pages, category tags, the plugins and themes, this you can fix here on the back end. I'll also explain one thing here, what is just quickly what is WordPress multi-site is for the Karlstad University staff and students. You can also just log in here and create a new website, like you can create your new website on Open Network Learning. This is done via WordPress multi-sites. And if you look at here, if I go to the back end again on Open Network Learning, which is also WordPress multi-site, you can see here and this I only can see, and other super admins, you will not be able to see this as a participant. You can see, for instance, that we have now around 400 or plus individual, 450 individual WordPress sites with its own administrator, with different amounts of users on the different sites, with different settings, different content, and different appearance, different posts and pages, different categories and tags. And what is all the same is that we in on the top here of the page control which plugins and themes you have access to, um, and which you can choose from. And we update everything. You don't have to worry about updating plugins and security issues. We take care of this. So this is front end, back end. Does it make sense? Front end, what you see, back end, where you make the settings. Yep, good. Then great, thank you. And then I go back to which pair should we take now? Content and appearance, maybe. We go to the front end now. And the front end is the pages you've seen. This is Open Network Learning, which everyone out there sees in the community spaces. There's some background noise of someone. Thank you. This is another subsite of Open Network Learning, ONL 251, which, as you are familiar with, under the term community space. This is just another WordPress installation where all participants are members, and the ONL team also are members. Here, and I show you now the difference between the content and the appearance by showing you how to set up. I'm gonna set up now a new WordPress site under Open Network Learning, as well as you can do. So if you're logged in and go to the community space, on the left-hand side, you see create reflection space. This will guides you through and this is all of you who haven't done this, be our guests to do this here and maybe do it right now with me. So here you first need to create an address, right? So like the /ONL251, I'm gonna call this now testing stuff. So this will create a page called opennetworklearning.se/testing stuff. Demo website. I give it a name. This part you can easily change. This stuff here is harder to change, and you cannot do it by yourself. Only we, the super admins, can change it. But this one here, the name, you can easily change yourself if you wanted to change that later. And most of the stuff you can, or 99% of the stuff you can change later. So don't be afraid to press on buttons or test stuff out. You cannot destroy. You start with a new site. So no. You can make all changes and you cannot destroy anything. So be brave and test stuff and click on all the buttons and see what happens. So here you make the change, for instance, like we did on opennetworklearning.se is open to the completely open. ONL251, you need to have an account, an ONL account in order to see it. And here you can see or make the settings, which you can also change later, who can see those your page. the first two, then the site is openly available, and the first one you ask bots like Google or Meta bots not to index it or to index your site, so that when their bots crawl the entire internet, that they refrain from indexing your site or not. Or you can make settings if you want everyone who has an account on ONL to see this your site, then you choose this one. If you only want selected course participants, which you add then individually to your sites, you could choose this, or you could choose the lowest one here. Then it's only restricted to yourself and the super admins to the site. So this, and then this you can change whenever you want to. So I'm make it completely available now, openly available, and then you get some. And now we're getting slowly into the content appearance stuff, because in WordPress there's thousands of different templates and designs, design suggestions, where you start from with your page. And here we give you some suggestions which you could choose from to give a starting point. And I'm going to choose this one, a Swedish developer, block developer Anders Norén. I like this a lot. And we start this one, and then we scroll down, and this is it. So now in a few seconds, this testing stuff site is created. And here you get two links. The top one is the front end link, and the back end is the second one is the back end link. It's always the same in WordPress. Then it has the front end link and then /wp-admin. So we can open both. This is how the demo website looks like. And you see here in the domain, testing stuff is the one I created. And here's the back end. And so this site is now created. And here on the back end, you can have a lot of settings. And this is where you change all the stuff. And before I go go deeper into content and appearance, I'll start with one and another one, and the difference between posts and pages. Pages, we can take a look what kind of pages we have here right now. There's the sample page, and we can take a look how it looks like. This is an example page. Looks like this. All the everything on open network learning here, which you see, which is more static content, like the course overview or the topic descriptions. Those are all pages. On the so more static sites which you which do not change or which you don't add so much of on a regular basis. On the other hand, the course news, those are posts, and this difference is good for you to know for later purposes. We would in order to be able to share your posts and your reflections, it's easier when you do this with posts. And I'll get back to you. I'll get back to that later. But here we see the pages, and you see all pages, and you can add new pages. You can also go to the plus and add your new post or page. Here you see, if you click on posts, you see all posts, and there's a sample page always and a hello world posts, and they look like this, and they will look similar to on your blog here. So yes, still all clear. Are you still with me?
Yes.
Yeah, good. Um, all right. And now going back to the difference between content and appearance. What I'm gonna do now is I chose this um and there's one theme, and I would like to change the theme now and how the design of my page looks like. Then I can easily do this. I go here in the back end to themes, and I'm choosing now. I'm gonna test different themes now and say, show me a live preview of this new theme, and we'll see what this would look like. This demo website, hello world, and this is the content, right? You've seen it before differently. This was the sample page. This was the sample. Yeah, excellent. Thank you, Johan. Yes, it is a little bit technical. Um, in order for you to understand the technical concepts of the reflection space. Here we could say, okay, looks like the same content, but in a different appearance, a different design. I'm saying like I don't, I want to change it. I'm not so happy with this one. I rather uh, give this one a try. How would this look like? Yeah, I like this better. And then I say activate and publish. And now the website should look a little bit different. Now it would look like this. It's still the same content here, right? But the design is different. So this is just a basic thing, that your content and the way it's presented, designed is separate from each other. So you don't need to worry if you create a lot of content now, a lot of reflections, and then later you think like, oh, this was not the best design. You don't need to worry about this because you can always change the design later, and your articles will be the same, the content. And for your reflections, it would be good if you create different posts. So the pages for the pages may be for your an about page about yourself. This is a blog by Jörg. I can show you mine, for instance, also WordPress page, which I use as a as a CV or as a reflection space or different different purposes for my own reflection space and portfolio. Here, all of these here, like the course news, are different posts. The date is visible, and you have different categories, which I'm gonna explain now. And this page may be about me. This would be a page, right? This is more static, whereas the other posts are more what's regulating updates, what's happening. And for posts, if I go back, there you have different categories and tags. Yeah. Yes, exactly. So, all right, thank you for the questions. Yeah, many good inputs. I'll take them one by one, maybe in a second. Just quickly, but the categories and tags. Open education is one category on my blog, and also all the posts here that have to do with open education. They are I categorize them under the category open
Yeah, there's a person. I
education.
just have to log off. Let me tell them.
Um, Musa, do you have a question
Oh,
or do you? Yeah, then don't forget to unmute yourself later if you have. Thank you. So that's categories. I don't. Then there's a different sorting mechanism that's tags, and they are more fine-grained way of organizing your content. So I'll just don't go into this too deeply. I'll just show a link to the WordPress page, Learn WordPress. Here you could dive deeper, and I share this in the chat here. Uh, in this homepage, you have a lot of tutorials if you want to learn more about WordPress. Another reason why to use WordPress, because there are so many people helping other people in an open network learning way and to learn more about WordPress. Right. Yes, it's like a topic. Yeah, a topic, yes, and subtopics that would be a category. Like categories, you can are hierarchical. Um, I'll just show on this video tag like you. If we stick to this one here, just yeah, no worries, Musa. No problems. Thanks for stopping by. So, you could have the categories fiction and non-fiction, and then
On a cooking blog, you can have categories like, for example, find similar content. They aren't meant for grouping your posts, but they help describe.
So the tags help describe the content, and you could have Bob the Brontosaurus both in maybe non-fiction as well as fiction, or you would have a tag for T-Rex, and it could still be in both categories of fiction and non-fiction. And if you would click on T-Rex, you would find all the posts in all the different categories, which have to do with the T-Rex. But if you want to organize your content in categories, this is more a hierarchical way of finding stuff. And in ONL, we use the different topics. We use categories for organizing the posts. Yeah. Then once we create our own reflection space, where can you find it? That depends highly on where you created it. If you do it on Open Network Learning, you will should get a link. You can also see it if you are, and we can double check this. I'm going into the community space, and this you could double check now. If this, for those of you, yeah, under your groups, or it should maybe better be termed your spaces, you should be able to see your link here on the left hand side. See how it's up here now, demo website. You should find your individual reflection space here if you created it on Open Network Learning. And here we are on the demo website I just created. So on the left-hand side, you should also, hopefully you also got a mail with the link. If you created somewhere else on WordPress.com, you need to log in there, and there you should find it. Yeah. Then about, I think this is a very interesting comment, and think of how we design stuff and how we organize it, and how we present it. So I'm going back to the comment here to stick to the design by your university. So we have this in Karlstad University, and here we have the deal between the Center for Teaching and Learning and our communications department, that the Sula page here, sula.co, for instance, this is more or less the corporate identity of Karlstad University. But all the subsites, the portfolios, your reflection space, there we said, like, this is our students' individual place. This is our researchers' portfolio place. It's yours and theirs. So they should be able to design it and make it their own, also design-wise. So there we at our university say, like, we don't have to stick to, obviously, to COW's corporate identities, Karlstad University's identity and colors, because it's yours, right? It's your reflection space. and you should take ownership for it. It's a way to improve your digital literacies, your competencies in creating on the open web or on the closed web if you wanted to have the site more closed. But it gives you agency. So yes, if your university provides a place like this, but says like it all should look the same, well, then it's the choice of the university. In our university and with open network learning, I mean, we are all coming from different universities. It's up for you to decide how you want to design it. Yeah, and of course, I totally agree. A very simple design is often the best, as with everything. But I think it's important for you to be able to take ownership, and here you definitely can. What other words did we have? Plugins and themes, maybe. Another important topic here for and why to use WordPress is because you can extend it immensely. So if you go to wordpress.org, the community, and go to extend under plugins, you will see there's 59,000 free plugins. And what is a plugin? Plugins are small additional programs to extend the functionality of the WordPress page. I think in our context, think of you have a WordPress page somewhere and want to organize a conference, right? You could buy in a fancy schmancy tool, which companies will sell you to send in the abstracts. You could also go to your WordPress page, install, look for this plugin, WordPress Abstracts, and get additional functionality for your WordPress page to handle conference abstracts for free. And if you pay a little bit, you get even more functionality. This is the power of WordPress. There's so many developers out there who extend the functionality of WordPress pages on sites. And this is just one example of one plugin extra program for WordPress. Very, very powerful, and one of the main arguments and explanations why there are so many WordPress pages around the world on the internet, because the possibility to extend WordPress is enormous. Yes. And themes, we went through this already. That's the different designs. And you could, if we go to the plugin directory or extend and themes, you can also, here's the latest themes which people develop and share. Some are for free, some you have to pay for. And we pre-installed a dozen or so of themes, which I showed to you earlier on Open Network Learning, which you could choose from. So this is different designs which you can work with. And just one more thing here under learn.wordpress, I'll post this link. If you choose WordPress, here you have like open online courses and tutorials with videos and other material where you could find, guidance through the different, and you see it now in German, it's in English, German, dozens of languages where you can find tutorials for working with WordPress. And you can always, in this course, you can always ask us, of course. Let me check. We had categories. RSS feeds is maybe the final one and maybe the most complicated and tricky one for me to explain. And but before I go on in this, everything still clear, or was this way too technical? All clear, Christina. Thank you. Or was this the answer if this was too technical? Yeah, all clear. Thank you. We have to, exactly. This is exactly, thank you. This is exactly what you should do now in the reminder of the course, right? Thank you. You should try this. Is especially or similar once you have a lecture with your students. Yeah, of course, it's all good. But then 2 hours later, what did Jörg say again? What was this? Tags and categories, posts and pages. Yeah, you have to get your hands dirty. And here you don't even have to get your hands dirty. You can sit at your clean keyboard but try to break it. Press all the buttons and see what happens. Yeah, good. All right, back to the posts and oh no, the posts and the RSS feeds. Okay, and connecting your individual reflection spaces. This is now all together in the final part of this workshop. Okay, the course is called Open Network Learning, right? We want you to similar we want you to test creating reflection spaces portfolios with WordPress. We also want you to test to get a feel for and decide for yourself how I want to share on the internet. We talked about it a little bit in Dave's webinar last week. Do I want to be in this semi-space in the middle, in this community space, in this ONL 251 space where I know the users are limited? Or am I so brave and want to try and see what's happening to put it out there on the internet? You can make those choices with WordPress, right? You can see, as I went through, you are in control who sees your posts and not. And that has to, depending on your settings, is it openly available? And then everyone can surf into this. If you share your links to others, then more people are likely to see it. Otherwise, or you can say like, no, I'm not so comfortable yet. I want to start maybe in topic 1 reflecting, and I only see the page. That is totally fine. And it's your choice, and you can change them later. It's called open network learning because we want to, all of us in the ONL 251 community space, in the PBL groups, you have an account, right? You registered. We also had interest, and not so many, but we wanted to make the design, or we did the design decision that even if you're not in a PBL group, you can interact with us on the course and learn anyway. And this is depending on if we all contribute to this or not and do this openly. If we only share our stuff in our close community, then we cannot have others interacting with our stuff, right? But if we would share our reflections openly here now, we can get other participants, maybe which are in New Zealand, in such a time zone that synchronously collaborating on this course is not possible for practical reasons. They could engage through the reflections. So, all right. I'm showing you now, and maybe this is not the most straightforward to explain the RSS feeds and the posts and connecting your reflection spaces, but well, we start with connecting your individual reflection space. Once you have your space, you fill out this little form here. And for our own administrative purposes, you tell us, are you an institutional learner, or are you an open learner, or are you an independent learner? If you're in a PBL group, you either an individual institutional learner or open learner. The ones who are joining us independently, maybe from New Zealand or Uruguay or somewhere else, or from the West Coast in the United States, they are not in the PBL group, most likely because of practicals time zone reasons. They could connect their space here as an independent learner. And then you just let us know the address, right? My address would be now testing stuff. And then I would copy and paste the link and not to the back end. Do you remember the front and back end, right? Not the back end link, but the front end link. And then you leave your email address so that we can get in touch if something went wrong. And that's what we need. And then we ask you here, do you want to share it completely open or in the community space or just in your PBL group space? So in this case, I say like, I want to show it fully openly on ONL. And then I submit it. This is just a form. Here's nothing technically automatically happening. I just get an email now with that you would like to connect your space. And you get a little answer here. Thank you for connecting your individual reflection space. Now we would go on in the back end and take this link and see if there is an RSS feed on your page. If you have it on WordPress, there's definitely by design an RSS feed. And what it does, it shows you the information on your blog in a computer readable way, like this. This is meant for computers to read, not for humans to read. And what it does then, the ONL homepage automatically checks every hour, is there a new post on this website? And once there is, it would create a copy of that post and show it under all individual reflections. Okay, this is done. And here we don't have this set up for the current iteration. But once we're setting this up now, and so far no one has said that, or maybe one or two participants has said that they want to share openly. By the help of this RSS feed, the computer readable way of interacting with homepages, this way here, and we make an automatic copy of your paste and show it here in abstract of your post and link it back to your page. If you have the settings openly available to everyone and you wanted to share it openly. Does that make sense still? If you said you want to just share it in the community space, we will be able, I'm going to promise this now that we're going to sort it out. We will make this the same happen, that it will automatically be presented here in the community space. If you say that you only want to share it in your PBL space, then take this link of your post. Here, if you click on this post now, you see this, you get this link here for your post, and then you say, I just copy and paste this in my PBL group space and post it. You can share posts manually as well, of course. Yes, I got a question. Yes, more content-wise now. If we are good on the technical side of things, yeah, then we go back to Open Network Learning, and I'll show you the last link here, which I updated actually for this slightly for the webinar here just this morning. Your individual reflection space and what to focus on. Um, and and this is really here the part to answer your question. Is there fixed format or content types? No. The majority write their reflections, but you could also vlog or have a pod about your reflections, right? We don't care. Um, it's easier, maybe more accessible, maybe easier, I don't know, in writing. But if you like going around and record your and have a don't mind talking out loud or vlog about your create a video about your reflections, you can do that as well. So there's no format requirements. A reflective post, we say, uh, when you do it writtenly, then at least 400 words, we say but this is you should, depending if you are open learner or institutional learner, double check with your university. And
Sorry, Jörg.
yeah, sure, go ahead.
Where did you find this page? The one you're just showing?
Yeah, it's you find it under About ONL, individual reflection. I also had a link to the same page under the
Which one?
here, but I put it. Let me just put a copy in it in the chat. Oh no, this is sorry. I put in the wrong link here. I'm sorry. And here I put this link in the chat. Yeah. You see the link, Terry? Excellent. Thank you. Yeah, we're getting towards the end of the hour. Is there anything else you want me to focus on? Something which went too fast?
Excuse me, Jörg.
Yeah, sure.
I see in the reflection page, there's this instruction to use the hashtag or the ONL25. So when do you do that?
The hashtag, great question. Thank you. The hashtag is particularly useful if you're also on social media, right? If you're on Blue Sky, on LinkedIn, on Mastodon, or where else you would like to be. The hashtag, yeah, exactly. So this course about open network learning, right? So with the help of the hashtag, you could find and others could find you who are interested in ONL 251. If you're on Blue Sky, you don't need to know that this person exists. But if you both post something with the hashtag ONL 251, and you search for the hashtag ONL 251, you would find each other, right? You don't need to know each other. It's just a common keyword or category for open network learning so that you find each other. So this is the suggestion, and to also, if you block something, to put it somewhere where other people can find you.
So it's more for the social media, not for the reflection space.
Not so much for the reflection space as such. I'll show you one more link which explains this in a little bit more detail, why the hashtag. And this is this page. I put it in the chat here again. And oh, wait a second. Why is this not working? For participant, and I'll show you also sharing how to get there on the course homepage, participating as an independent learner. 3 old videos from Dave Cormier, the originator of the term massive open online course. If you go to About ONL, get started, and participating in this independent learner, these 3 videos will explain much more about the original idea of a connectivist MOOC or network learning and why the hashtag. It's in order to find others who are interested in this topic.
Can I put a question? Sorry.
Sure.
I'm sorry for the very basic one.
No. Don't apologize.
Once I download the software and create my own space,
Yeah.
will it be a completely independent website blog, or should I connect it to the ONL website or to the ONL group of users to include them in a possible discussion?
Yeah,
So
great
how does it
question.
work?
Great question. So on the one hand, you have your website, right? And it's if you do it on Open Network Learning, it's a WordPress installation on the Karlstad University server. So it's right there online. But if you don't share it in some way, then no one will find it, right? If you create a space and call it testing stuff, no one will be able to find it. Only you know that it exists. So then you have to take the next step and think about, how do I want to share it? If I want others to comment on my stuff, how will they find it? And we don't know the address of the others don't know the address of your homepage. You have to let others know. So the hashtag is one way of doing it, but the other one would be then to connect your homepage that we know how you would like to share it. And then you either, if you just do it in your PBL group space, then you have to do it by yourself in the PBL group just by pasting your links there. You can also paste it manually in the community space. But if you want to have it automatically updated on the opennetworklearning.se page, then we need to do some magic in the background. But the second part is all about that others can find your reflections. If that makes sense.
So is there any advantage if I understand correctly, I have the possibility to create the website within the Karlstad domain or
on the opennetworklearning.se, yes.
And this way it will be automatically part of the course or automatically connect, or should I anyway post the link to my reflection space so that everybody could connect?
Yeah. So where you do it on the opennetworklearning.se, if you do it there, then you know your data is stored in Karlstad. If you do it in WordPress.com, you don't know where your data is stored. Somewhere on their servers around the world. If your organization has an opportunity, you could do it there. You can, and also, I think Felicia, you had this question, can I use Weebly? Yes, you can use whatever you want to. But as you have a lot of agency, where to do it and how to do it, we don't know about your choices. So you need to let us know, and you need to let your fellow participants know where your reflections are in order for them to comment on them, for instance, and for this networked learning to take place, if that makes sense.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And Kath,
maybe just a quick question.
Sure.
In the reflection space, how do you, is it only text, or you can also add like graphics? I mean, I prepare a lot of maps. I always love to communicate with maps. We did this for the first meeting. So is there a space in the post in WordPress where you can pull in a map, or you can make a screenshot and just paste?
Anything. anything. It's a WordPress, it's a web page. You can include videos, you can embed maps, you could do this Padlet inside this web page. You can, anything is possible, really.
Okay, I try it. If I need help, I come back to you.
Yes, and again, for this, also I would recommend then, if you said now you use Weebly, but if you would, there's probably explanations about this also on Weebly. But if you want to learn more about WordPress and how to do it, go to learn.wordpress.org, and there's plenty of content which explains you. Google it on YouTube, how to create a post, how to embed
Can
a
you put in a link?
Yes,
Thanks.
sure. Any other questions, comments? We have 6 minutes past the hour. I'm sorry about this, going over time, but if you have something otherwise,